Marcus Hayes was running late. Not fashionably late, desperately, career-alteringly late. His interview at Sterling Industries was scheduled for 2 p.m., and it was now 1:47. The job was perfect: senior project manager, six-figure salary, benefits that would finally give his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, the stability she deserved. His old Honda was doing its best, but traffic wasn't cooperating. Marcus's hands gripped the steering wheel as he calculated routes, trying to shave off minutes he didn't have. Then he saw her. A woman in a red blazer and business attire stumbled on the sidewalk outside a corporate building, her ankle twisting awkwardly. She went down hard, papers scattering from her briefcase, her face contorted in pain. Marcus's foot moved toward the gas pedal. He was already late. This wasn't his problem. Someone else would help, but no one was helping. Pedestrians walked past, a few glancing over but continuing on their way. The woman tried to stand, collapsed back down, clearly unable to put weight on her injured ankle. Marcus thought about Emma, about what he'd want someone to do if she were hurt and alone. He pulled over. "Are you okay?" he asked, kneeling beside the woman. She looked up, embarrassed and in pain. "I twisted my ankle." "I'm fine, really." "You're not fine, you can't stand." Marcus glanced at his watch. 1:49. His interview was across town. He was going to miss it. He made his choice. "Let me help you. Where were you heading?" "I have a meeting in that building," she gestured to the glass tower behind them. "But I can call someone." "You're hurt. I'm already here. Let me at least get you inside and make sure you're okay." Marcus gathered her scattered papers, retrieved her briefcase, then carefully helped her stand. She winced but allowed him to support her weight. "I'm Marcus, by the way, Victoria. And thank you." "Most people just walk past." "Yeah, I noticed. Come on, let's get you checked out." He helped her into the building lobby, settled her in a chair, got ice from the building's cafe. A security guard called for first aid. Victoria's ankle was swelling badly, definitely sprained, possibly worse. "You should go to urgent care," Marcus said. "That needs to be looked at properly. I have an important meeting in 20 minutes. I can't miss it." "Victoria, you can barely stand. Whatever the meeting is, your health is more important." She smiled sadly. Spoken like someone who doesn't run a company. "But you're right. I'll reschedule." She looked at him properly for the first time. "You're dressed for something important." "An interview?" Marcus glanced at his watch. 1:58. Was. "I'm definitely too late now." "Oh no, you should have said something. You should have just kept going." "And left you on the sidewalk?" "No. Some things are more important than interviews." "That's very kind, but jobs like that don't come around often." "What company?" "Sterling Industries, senior project manager position. It was supposed to be my big break." Marcus shrugged, accepting what he'd lost. "I'll figure something else out." "Are you sure you're okay? Do you need me to call someone?" "I've got it from here." "Marcus, I'm so sorry you missed your interview because of me." "Don't be. I made the choice. I'd make it again." He handed her his phone number on a piece of paper. "In case you need anything. And seriously, get that ankle checked." Marcus drove home, called Sterling Industries to apologize and explain. The receptionist was sympathetic but firm. The position was time-sensitive. They'd already moved on to other candidates. That evening, Emma asked how the interview went. "Didn't make it, Princess, but I helped someone who needed it, so it wasn't a wasted day." "Did you save someone? Like a hero?" "Just help someone who fell. Nothing dramatic. That's still being a hero, Dad." Marcus smiled and hugged his daughter. "Thanks, sweetheart." The next morning, Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this Marcus Hayes?" "Yes, this is Sterling Industries. We'd like to reschedule your interview. Are you available this afternoon at 2 p.m.? Marcus blinked. "I thought the position was filled." "The timeline changed. Can you make it today?" "Absolutely, thank you." At 1:55, Marcus walked into Sterling Industries' corporate office. The receptionist directed him to the executive floor, which seemed odd for a project manager interview, but he didn't question it. He was led to a corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows. Behind the massive desk sat the woman from yesterday, Victoria, her injured ankle elevated on a cushion, wearing the same red blazer. Marcus stopped in the doorway. "You're Victoria Sterling, CEO of Sterling Industries. Have a seat, Marcus." He sat down slowly, processing. You knew yesterday? When I told you about the interview? Not at first. I was too focused on the pain and embarrassment. But when you mentioned Sterling Industries, I made the connection. You were supposed to interview with my head of operations for the project manager role. And you're here because I wanted to conduct this interview myself. Victoria leaned forward. Marcus, yesterday I watched a dozen people walk past me when I was hurt. You stopped. You were late for an important interview. An interview at my company, and you still stopped. You helped me without knowing who I was, without expecting anything in return. You put human decency above personal advancement. It was the right thing to do. Exactly. And that tells me more about your character than any interview question could. So let me ask you directly, why do you want to work at Sterling Industries? Marcus thought about the rehearsed answers he'd prepared, then decided on honesty. Because I'm a single dad trying to give my daughter stability. Your company offers good pay, benefits, room for growth. I need a place where my skills matter and where I can build a career that supports my kid. Tell me about your background. For the next 30 minutes, they discussed Marcus's experience, project management, team leadership, problem solving. He'd worked for smaller companies, always competent but never quite breaking through to the opportunities he deserved. You're overqualified for the project manager role, Victoria said finally. Marcus's heart sank. I understand if I'm offering you a different position, director of operations. You'd oversee multiple project managers, report directly to me, lead major initiatives. It comes with significantly better compensation and more responsibility. I don't understand. Yesterday was the first time we met. Marcus, I've built this company on the principle that character predicts performance. Skills can be taught, integrity can't. You demonstrated integrity in a moment when you thought no one important was watching. That's who I want leading, my teams. But you barely know me. I know you stopped to help a stranger when you had every reason to keep going. I know you prioritized someone's welfare over your own advancement. I know you're raising a daughter alone and working hard to provide for her. And your professional references, yes, I called them this morning, all said the same thing. You're reliable, ethical, talented, and underutilized. Victoria pulled out a folder. This is the offer. Look it over. If you accept, you start Monday. If you need time to think about it, that's fine too. Marcus opened the folder. The salary was nearly double what he'd expected for the project manager role. The benefits were comprehensive. The opportunity was everything he'd been working toward. I need to ask, he said. If I'd made it to the interview yesterday, if I hadn't stopped to help you, would I have gotten the job? Honestly, probably not. You would have interviewed, fine, but so would others. You would have been qualified but not exceptional. What made you exceptional was the choice you made when you didn't know I was watching. So I got the job because I helped you. No, you got the job because you're the kind of person who helps people, even when it costs you something. That's the leadership quality I need. Marcus accepted on the spot. On his first day, Victoria called him into her office. How's Emma handling the transition? New schedule, new routine. How did you know her name? I did my homework. Single father, full custody, daughter in 3rd grade at Riverside Elementary. You volunteer at her school when you can, coach her soccer team on weekends. You're not just a good employee, you're a good father. That matters to me. Thank you. That means a lot. Sterling Industries has a family support program, backup child care, flexible schedules, educational assistance. Use it. I don't want you burning out trying to balance everything. Over the following months, Marcus proved Victoria's instinct right. He excelled in the role, improved team efficiency, led successful projects. But more than that, he brought a culture of integrity that influenced how the entire department operated. A year after that day on the sidewalk, Victoria promoted him again, VP of Operations. At the announcement meeting, she told the story. A year ago, I fell on the sidewalk outside this building, hurt my ankle, scattered my papers, looked ridiculous. Dozens of people walked past. One man stopped. He was late for an interview here actually, but he stopped anyway. He helped me, made sure I was okay, and sacrificed his opportunity without hesitation. She looked at Marcus. That man is now your VP of Operations, not because he helped me, but because that moment revealed who he is. Someone who does the right thing even when it costs him something. That's the kind of leadership this company needs at every level. After the meeting, Marcus found Victoria in her office. You didn't have to tell that story. I wanted people to understand why I trust you, and to remember that character matters more than credentials. Can I ask you something? Your ankle, how long did it actually take to heal? 3 weeks in a boot. It was a bad sprain. Why? Because I've wondered sometimes if that whole situation was a test, if you somehow set it up to see who'd stop. Victoria laughed. Marcus, I'm not that Machiavellian. I genuinely twisted my ankle being clumsy in heels. The fact that you stopped was pure chance. Or fate, depending on your perspective. But it was real, not manufactured. Good to know. Though I have to admit, it worked out pretty well for both of us. Years later, when Emma was graduating college, she asked her father about the turning point in his career. It was a choice, Marcus told her. I was late for an interview that could have changed our lives. I saw someone who needed help. I had to decide what mattered more in that moment. And you chose helping. I chose being the kind of person I wanted you to grow up seeing. Turns out that choice changed our lives anyway, just not in the way I expected. Do you think you'd have gotten the job if you'd made the interview on time? Victoria says no. Says I would have been qualified but not exceptional. The thing that made me stand out was stopping when everyone else kept walking. So being a good person got you the job? Being a good person got me the opportunity to prove I deserved the job. The rest I had to earn. Emma smiled. I'm proud of you, Dad. Not for the career stuff, for being someone who stops to help even when it costs you something. That's the example I needed. That's the best thing anyone's ever said to me. Because sometimes the moments that change our lives look like disasters at the time. Sometimes missing an important interview leads to something better than we imagined. And sometimes the CEO watching from the sidewalk isn't testing you. She's just another human being who needed help, and will remember forever who stopped and who kept walking. Marcus stopped. That choice defined everything that came after. If this story moved you, share it with someone who believes character matters more than credentials. Subscribe for stories about integrity, unexpected opportunities, and choosing right over convenient, and comment about a time when doing the right thing led somewhere you never expected. Those moments shape who we become.